everybody, welcome back into the one and only AM show. All right, you guys, happy Tuesday. And you guys know that at the top of today's show, we teased an incredible guest, and y'all, she has pulled up.
Yeah.
We have the wonderful, the creative Nia Shy in the building. We cannot wait to chat it up with her. Nia Shy, I mean, she's done so much. She is certainly a creative director who's worked on fashion shows and photo shoots and video shoots and just so much. It's really, her brand is entitled the Nimani World, and it's really where project management and creativity meet. So you guys, without delay, I want you to give a warm AM show welcome to our wonderful guest, Miss Nia Shy. Hey girl, hey.
Hi.
Yes, girl. So we're so happy that you made it here. Thank you so much for coming on the show, by the way. You look great again.
You.
And we're just super stoked to chat about what you've done, your educational career, certain projects that you worked on. So I know that you are a creative director, and I know that you really just merge project management with creativity. Tell me when you knew, when was the moment you knew that you were a true creative, and how did you sort of channel that, right? How did you decipher what projects and what elements of creativity you wanted to work on?
So honestly, and being in college, first, can I say you guys look great too?
Oh, thank you, girl.
You told me how great I look, and I have to let you guys know you look amazing too.
We're all doing like a little bit of black.
Yeah.
We sure are, with a little pop of color. Love it. Okay.
Black always eats.
Oh, yes. Yes. Yes.
Honestly, in going to college and trying to figure out what you want to be in this world, I was like, what do I want to do? And I think I've always had the creativity side, but also bringing the business aspect to everything kind of brought everything together for me.
Yeah.
And then being able to work on projects and really see what I work best with. At first, I wanted to be a model.
Oh, yeah.
You've done that?
I think you have to have a certain amount of free time to be able to go to castings and do certain things for modeling that I just didn't have the time to with going to school and working full time.
Yeah.
But being able to work behind the scenes of different projects and really see where I fit in on projects made me realize that project management and creative directing was really for me.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, wait. So tell us, what was your favorite project to work on, and what exactly did you do? I know you've done so much. The fashion shows, the video shoots. I mean, we're going to get to your work in a sec, the aesthetics of it. But tell us, what was your favorite project to work on, and what was that process like?
So my favorite project to work on is hard because all of my projects that I've worked on have been with friends and acquaintances that I've met over time. I think my favorite has to be the fashion show, just because it was a longer process. It took about 6 to 7 months of planning where I helped out with, and being able to just connect with people and see where you can support others and then where others can support you. I think that was the most fun for me. And then it also wasn't in New York, it was in Philadelphia. So being able to go to Pennsylvania and just work with so many people in different areas of their expertise was a lot of fun for me.
And the new vibe down there too. It's very different.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Still big city, but different from New York.
Yeah.
So for anybody who doesn't know, what is a creative director? What exactly do your duties entail, if you can let us all know that?
So my job as a creative director is to keep the vision and the focus of a project. So if you come to me and you say that you want to do a photo shoot for your birthday, I'm keeping the vision of your birthday and whatever clothing elements that you want to incorporate, because my styling aspect comes into photo shoots as well. And if you want it to be 2 looks, 3 looks, a photographer, a videographer, I keep everything in focus of what you want to get done, just so that you can make sure it's everything that you want it to be.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, when she was talking, I was like envisioning it. So like, if I came to you, okay, let's really paint this clear and
let's
bright.
go.
If I came to you, Nia, and I said, Nia, I want to do a graduation photo shoot, and I told you, almost like I shared a Pinterest board with you of some of my images. So you would be in charge of like assisting me in terms of booking the photographer, like the lighting, the backdrops, what looks would sort of captivate my vision the best. Am I right?
Yep.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, you need that. You need that on project development because of creative, and then you need that other execution side of it.
Yeah.
It's so true.
Now, I know you went to the Fashion Institute. You went to FIT, which is absolutely fantastic. Such a great school. It's located right here in New York City. So how did what you learned there prep you for what you're doing now in the real world?
So I think FIT prepped me and just being able to show me what marketing is, because I did international marketing. So that's knowing how whatever you're putting out there for your audience is going to be perceived by the correct audiences depending on the region that you're trying to show it to. So a lot of what I do is on the East Coast, and I am a New Yorker, so I know what we're looking for, what's interesting to us. So I think a real challenge for myself would be to go into a different market. And I think going to Philadelphia, bless you, was letting me go into that different market and kind of see what can I tweak, what can I do a little bit differently. And I think the best aspect is being able to just learn along the way. Like every project is a learning experience. So that's partially why Philadelphia and the fashion show was my favorite, because it was such a learning experience being able to work with different people and on such a large project. So.
I get that. And I know, Nia, that you are into, of course, creative directing, but media and journalism and storytelling. That's actually how we met, because we were previous to this job, we were up for the same communications job. That's how we actually met. So I got my degree in journalism because we love it, because I love it, because it's storytelling. How does your passion for storytelling play into your creative process?
So I think it plays into my creative process, and I'm a Black woman, and that's how I show up in the world first and foremost. So to tell a story from the perspective of Black people that we don't necessarily see in every space. A lot of my personal projects recently have been on bringing Black creativity into spaces that we haven't necessarily seen.
Talk about that.
So I did a photo shoot recently, which was a mod 60s type of photo shoot. And a lot of the time when you look up mod 60s, you see Marilyn Monroe or just certain types of physiques and looks, but you don't necessarily see Black people in that space. So I thought it was important to highlight Black people and how they would show up in that space as well.
No, I'm with you on that. I think that diversity is so important, and I think that when we do include diversity in all different sectors, we encourage the children. We encourage the children of all colors, of all shades. We encourage them so they can look up into the medical industry, the entertainment industry, journalism, creative, whatever, the restaurant business, whatever industry you want to get into. I want you to be able to see yourself in that, because if you don't, then that can possibly play a role in hindering you. It's almost like, well, I don't really want to be the first. Am I gonna fly, or am I gonna fail? Because nobody here looks like me, whether you're white, brown, Spanish, wherever you are. If you don't see a representation of you, it's going to be harder, a little bit harder for you to start on that. And then you're not gonna trust the folks who are there. If you don't see one person that looks like you, well, you definitely don't understand. So I get that. And that's for everybody, whether you're in Beverly Hills or whether you're in Far Rockaway. I get that. I get that. If you don't see you, and you don't have anything to do with this discrimination. You really don't. But if I don't see me, I know that I may not flourish in the capacity in which I can. So I love that you're setting that for all children. I love that. And for all adults. Go, girl. Yeah.
Go, girl.
Yeah.
Especially as a child, I feel like I didn't see myself in the spaces that I may have necessarily expected to.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you talk about storytelling, because music videos were so important for me growing up.
Yes.
Because being able to see the different looks that different artists would do, and I was like, wow, like I can dress like that, I can look like that. Maybe not all of the looks, but just being able to see, like, wow, like fashion goes so much deeper than just being on a fashion show or just on a runway, because there was a certain look for models, especially when I was growing up in the early 2000s. So it was like, even if I can't be her, I can look like her and I can dress like her. So just being able to see yourself in certain spaces through the people that you watch in media is so important.
Or I can look like me and show her another version of beauty. I could do that as well, girl. So I love that. That's that journalism. I love it. Storytelling.
How cool is that, though, that like music videos are something that inspired you, that you looked up to?
Yeah.
And now you're the creative director behind music videos that other young girls are looking up to. What does that mean to you?
Oh, that's so full circle.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't get to think about that sometimes when you're always so like go, but you're absolutely right. For it to come so full circle for me, working on a music video in general, I just didn't expect. So it was an amazing experience and time to just be collaborating with people that I grew up with, like people, women that I went to school with, and we've seen each other grow and do amazing things. So to be able to do that music video, I was excited and I was proud to see it all come together, and to be able to really see a project come to its execution is absolutely amazing.
Right?
It's so true.
Start to the finish of it.
Yeah.
See kind of like your child kind of be born in a way.
Yeah.
Because you ever like get an idea that's just in your head, you're just walking down the street or you're at home, and then all of a sudden, like 2 months later, it's being filmed?
Yeah.
How does that feel like?
That satisfaction.
I think for me, it still blows my mind every time it happens still, but it's so fun because I just love the learning of it and just being able to really see everything come to fruition. And I think it's amazing that you can just think something up and then 2 months later, 3 months later, a year later, it comes to life.
Yeah.
And it may not be exactly how you wanted, but I think that God is just funny in that way and just allowing you to be able to do the things that you set your mind to. Even if it's not what you expect it to be, He already knows what it's going to look like.
And then sometimes it's so much better. It's just like, oh, well, that's not exactly what I planned, girl. But that would, like, I couldn't even fathom of those elements. That's why you have to leave a little room for Him.
Absolutely.
So that creativity that we can even tap in can incorporate itself into the projects that we're doing. So with that being said, I'm curious, as a fellow creative, where do you draw your inspiration from? Because Nia, I could get inspiration from anything. I could get inspiration from a heartbreak, from crying, from mistreatment, from the sky. So where do you draw music? I know where music heads. Yes.
Yeah.
So where do you draw your inspiration from?
Honestly, I'm the same way. Like everything and anything is inspiration for me. Pinterest boards, like once you mentioned that, I was like, yeah, that's my go-to.
Girl.
My first question whenever I work with a client is, do you have a Pinterest?
Yes. Yes. Because you can show me what your vision is, the aesthetic
absolutely.
of it.
Like I've had people show me like nail design, artwork. I love art. So like going to museums and getting inspiration in that way.
Yeah.
Nature in itself can show you so many things. And I know that we take inspiration a lot of the time from the past and what's already been done. But I think for the future at least, it's important to take inspiration from yourself and the people around you, because that's so important too. Because people can teach you so many things and also can open you up to things that you weren't aware of and didn't know about before. So I feel like there's inspiration all around you. It's really just being attentive to it and being receptive to what you can learn from things.
Yeah, good and bad.
Yes.
Good and bad. It's like, oh, I love that. I'll never do that.
Exactly.
But I needed to learn that. Thank you. I needed to learn that. So when I go on my own, I know not to do that. It's the same thing. I love that.
Even the heartbreak you said, like healing from heartbreak.
Absolutely.
Like from friends, family.
Oh, yeah.
Like life, it can hurt you so bad, but then you're like, oh, this is gonna end me, but it doesn't actually
end you. It doesn't end you.
Life
Yeah,
keeps going.
I like that.
You just need to give yourself the time to heal and really learn from things.
Yes.
And I think that sometimes we don't allow ourselves to really grow from things.
Yeah.
We just want to sit in it. And just ruminate in it, and you can't let yourself stay places. Because then how are you supposed to grow from it? And I think the healing is so beautiful in that, because it helps you to move to higher places that you didn't expect to see yourself in.
It's so don't marinate, because then you're sitting on all of that beauty that you don't even know is there.
Exactly.
Because you are so committed, right, to the pain. You're committed to the pain. I love that.
Yeah, because I think it's good to feel the pain. You want to feel.
That's true.
As soon as you don't feel, then you know there's an issue.
That's true.
And that means that, okay, well, where did my empathy go?
That's true.
Where did my heart go in that way if you're not feeling? But there's a time and there's a place for it as well,
Absolutely.
right?
That was good, Nadine.
Thank you. I have a question for you, because we're talking about inspiration, right? So you can have inspiration for the own projects that you do, but when somebody hires you and they're like, okay, this is what I want to do, but it really doesn't relate to your life, it doesn't go with like your vibe, your creativity, how you would dress, how you would decorate. How do you handle that? How do you balance trying to please the client and what they want versus what you personally would do on your own?
I think the thing with that is also understanding that people come to me for my expertise. So they've seen the work that I do and they want me to kind of put my own spin on it. So that's what it means when it comes to a creative director, because they see the work that I do and they see my vision and they want me to put my vision into it. So like people come to me and they'll give me an idea and I can show them what they want, but I also always give my own input to be like, hey, like we can also do this. Like, have you heard of this? And then give examples, give different like inspiration that I felt would also work to just add to the total project itself. And usually they'll love it, sometimes they'll hate it, but just being able to see what we can add to make it a full like appetite of a project is what is really fun.
Yeah,
so that makes sense.
I love that.
Yeah, that makes sense because if they had all the answers, they wouldn't hire you, right? Like your job wouldn't exist if people had all the answers. They're like, no, we want to pick someone else's brain. So no, that makes sense where it's not just like, okay, I have to follow this cookie cutter script. It's like, no, you're coming to me because you like my work, you like my projects. I've showed you this, and now we're gonna put just a little sprinkle of Nia on it. We're gonna sprinkle some Nia all around it. And you're gonna get a great project.
Exactly.
And sorry, go ahead. This is good. Because it's so good. That's how you know it's good, and it's bouncing off of each other. This is good. I love that point. I wanted to add to that because even when I go in for a new project, sometimes like the photographer knows things that I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know that, Orlando. They know things that you don't know. They have an eye because they do that every day. Exactly. You have a vision in the project from October to November. That's cool, but they do that every day. So you can show me, no, Jadea, let's try this aesthetic. No, that white doesn't look good on this background. I know what you're going for. Let's go down to Soho. I know this dirty abandoned train station that's going to give you that grit and beauty look that you want to appear simultaneously on your Instagram. Like, I know, and I love that. I love that. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, this is getting good. This is getting good. I have so many more
too.
questions, but we're just going to take a quick commercial break real quick, and then we're going to have more. Don't worry, guys, with Nia Shy. Stay tuned.
Yes, my girl. Yeah.
Show. We are still here sitting down with the incredibly talented Nia Shy, who is a creative director and has her hands in all things in the entertainment world. Welcome on back. How you doing?
Good.
Feel good?
Yeah.
So we have been picking your brain about all things, and especially about inspiration and where it has taken you and driven you. And I just want to know real quick, I just want to take a little step back. As a child, were you always very creative? Is this were you helping your friends put on little plays in the neighborhood? Or tell us about baby Nia. Was she very creative, or is this over time that you gradually kind of got involved in this?
So it was really gradual, honestly. Okay. As a child, I would just change my outfit like 5 times a day. Like I was.
There it is. Yeah.
I've always loved clothes. I would literally come to class in high school just like this. Oh, wow. My teachers would be like, "Where are you going?" And I'm like, 5th period.
Yeah. And that's why you went to FIT.
Yeah.
Girl.
I love it.
I've always loved to just get dressed. You can tell a story with your outfit, and that's the first thing that people see and understand about you when they meet you. So it started with just getting dressed and just loving to try different styles. And then over time with modeling, like I said before, I was like, I like modeling, but I don't necessarily love being in front of the camera.
Got it.
And then I started to take a step back, interning and being able to be like, hey, I kind of like being behind the camera and being a part of the operational side of things. Yeah. And then it just took off from there.
Yeah. You were an outfit changer. I love that. So fun.
5 times a day, girl.
Yeah.
Because even like patterns, textures, seasons, your outfit tells a story. And I always tell people, like in my church and my friends, like people see you before they hear you. So that presentation is important. They also feel you before you all the way start talking or telling your complete story. So that's important as well. So with all that being said, I know you did some great work on this music video that I am now in love with, and we're gonna get to that in just a sec. But I wanna know, how do you pitch yourself to like prospective clients as a creative director? Do you go out and pitch yourself? And if so, what does that look like?
Honestly, I haven't pitched myself yet.
Ooh, girl, it flocks to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All of my clients have been people that have just seen me starting out because I've only been doing this for almost 2 years now.
Yeah.
So it's been me working on my Instagram, working on social media in general, and people seeing my work and seeing the potential in me and wanting to work with me. the woman that I worked with on the fashion show, her name is Ayana, and her brand is Normani Noir.
Yeah.
And we were friends on Twitter.
Wow.
Her birthday is the day before mine, and that's how we became friends. And then she was like, hey, like, I'm working on a fashion show, and I think you would be perfect to be a creative director to work with me on it. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to work on the fashion show with you. And then it just took off from there. Everybody else have been, like the music video that you're talking about, that's my friend Brianna. And she works as an artist, and her name is Sav. And she doesn't do music full time, but she saw the work that I'd done with the music video and just different photo shoots and was like, hey, I want to do a music video. Can you help me out with that? And I was like, I can try my best.
Because all of those are forms of expression.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Okay, y'all, I can't hold it anymore. Let's cut to because I fell in love with this song. Let's cut to the music video that Nia Shy worked on, served as creative director too. I'm excited. You talking about like vibes?
Yeah.
That reminded me of "Let's Take a Long Walk."
Yes.
It's very, very Jill Scott.
Exactly.
Very, very Jill Scott. Very like lip gloss and huge afros and blazers and the sun coming through and like big earrings. Like, and you smell good. I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Oh God, how was? Go ahead. Yeah.
There's a lot of 70s inspiration in there.
Yes.
Where did that come from?
Honestly, it was the client, Brianna. She wanted to work with the inspiration of 70s, and we kind of just took it from there. We told everybody who was going to be on set, like, we expect some really good 70s looks. Like, we want big afros, like different textures, different patterns, and everybody just came with their own inspiration, and it was so fun to see everybody do their own iteration of it.
Yes. God, it's nothing like, I think that goes back to your point, Nadine. It's nothing like having these ideas in the corner of your brain and you can, oh, no, I'm too scared. No, it's not the right time. No, I don't have, no, nobody's gonna believe in it, right? I don't have enough money yet, so I'm not, okay, I'm gonna silence that for another year, and then you actually say, no, I'm gonna birth this, and you see it. You see your dreams like executed and visualized. I know that's such a deep satisfaction. I want to know, how do you feel every time you complete a project and it's well? Not only do you complete it, but you complete it well. Do you like have small victories?
It's absolutely a small victory.
Yeah.
I feel like once graduating college, I had to take time to like really sit with it and be like, wow, I graduated college.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of the little thing I do every time I finish a project. It's like, wow, I finished this project and it came out amazing and my client loved it. And I learned so much and met so many amazing people in the process. So it's kind of being able to decompress afterwards and be like, wow, I did this.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
And we need that because so many people try to steal your joy in so many different ways. That's why creatives are private.
Yeah. And you can get lost in it too, right?
Absolutely.
Bouncing from one job to the next and not slowing down. So I think it's important to kind of soak that in.
Yeah.
Maybe the lessons you've learned, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I want you to talk to us about your brand because you have your brand, Nimani World. Yes, girl. Okay, so tell me where you came up with the title and what that entails. I know it's project management, of course, and creativity, but what does that brand? You've established that. How did you get to that point?
Honestly, so Nimani World comes from my name. So my first and middle name is Nia Imani.
Yep.
And that means purpose and faith. So I knew that I wanted to take from my own name, and then it's also showing a spin of how I put my own personal spin on all of the projects that I work on. Yeah. So it is my world when you're working with me.
Oh, yeah.
I just went
Give me
through
some.
that with you.
Yeah, girl. Yeah, I had to. I'm like, wait, because you're a creative, so I know. Like creatives, they have the backstory. How'd you come up with that name? Because I know there's a story.
Yeah.
Creative, of course.
Honestly, it was in my FIT dorm room. My roommate at the time, Dylan, he's the best.
Hey,
And
Dylan.
I haven't seen him in so long. Sending you so much love.
Yes, say Dylan.
And he was like, oh, you want to put your name together? Nimani. And I was like, I've been trying to figure that out my entire career, and you figured that out in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get so caught up too. And someone on the outside can just see it like that.
Immediately.
When it's about you, do you feel like when it comes to you, are you a little harder on yourself? Is it a little harder to do creative stuff for yourself and easier for other people? I'm seeing a yes.
Yeah. I'm definitely a perfectionist when it comes to myself. And I feel like everybody always has that own little like perfectionist part of yourself where you want everything to be perfect before you let other people see it. Because some people can just be so like degrading when it comes to your work. And it's like, I don't mind critiques, but I also love being highlighted for the things that I do and the work and the effort that I put into things. So just finding your people along the way is so rewarding. So Dylan, I literally have not seen him since we graduated, but I have so much love for him because he always supports me on this journey.
Yeah. I love that you mentioned finding your people because I truly believe that depending on the industry that you're in, you're gonna need to find those people. Those people, right? Watch this because you're a visionary. In order to be a creative, we have to see it. You're a visionary, right? So we can bring that thing to life. In order to find your people, it's like you go on this journey of like, okay, what do I want to do? What speaks to me and my soul? And then who am I going to share that with? Because you can't. That's part of finding your people. You can't share with everybody because I've done that. Family, friends, whoever it is, like boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever it is. If you tell your vision to the wrong person, like they smash it, Nia, even before they know. And I'm sure you've gone through that as a creative. Like, okay, just because you can't see it, that doesn't mean that it's a good. That doesn't mean that it's a bad idea. You just can't see it. We don't care if you can see it or not. That's why it's my project. I get that as a creative. Creatives are weird. Creatives need isolation. Creatives are very random at times. Sometimes you'll get the 7th idea before the 3rd one comes. Oh yeah, we're out of order. So I get that. You gotta really be careful who you tell it to because it's your baby and it's not done yet. And I don't need your critique if it's not done. And I meant that. And then people want to critique. You just want to critique just to seem superior. It's not done. We're still cultivating it. And I know that. I know that for a fact.
And I think that's kind of like a harder lesson I've had to learn. Is that sometimes it's not even that other people don't understand it necessarily. It's just more so that it's not for them to understand.
Right.
It's
That's
for
even
you.
deeper.
And
It's
you
for
can't
you.
really share it with everyone, and that's okay. But it's also allowing yourself to fully go through your own process, fully bring that project to fruition because you can't doubt it if it's right in your face.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also some things you need to just keep between you and God until it's time for you to give it to other people.
Yeah, don't be telling people. They don't know. They don't understand. And I don't have the stamina to explain it to you. So let's just retract this 100%.
How do you handle that because being creative is such a personal thing? How do you handle that fear if fear does come up? Fear of rejection, fear of other people like we're talking about and understanding. How do you like push that to the side and just power through?
Honestly, praying and just being like, the worst thing they can say is no.
Yeah.
Or the worst thing you can do is say that they don't like it.
Yeah.
And as long as I like it and I am proud of what I've done, then there's nothing else to do but just that we don't agree, and that's okay.
It's true. I love it. I was watching a clip of Tyler Perry. He was talking to somebody. I think he was mentoring. And Tyler Perry said to this guy, there are folks that understand my work and they love it, and there are folks that don't understand my work and they don't love it. That's cool because I don't understand your work. And I don't love your work as well. So he was talking about finding his people. And he was talking about that the right audiences. I remember Tyler said this. He said, I'm speaking to a specific demographic. And my demographic always knows when I'm talking. And I thought that was so powerful because he's a creative too. There's a difference between a creative, I said that yesterday, creative and a superstar. The creative actually is you're curating the art. The superstar can hold the the room and take your art with them. They can take your art and act that out. So with that being said, during your process at FIT, like what was your most troubling time and how did you overcome that? Was there ever a time that you second guessed yourself as being a creative director? Like what was some of the stumbling blocks that you had to overcome during your time as an undergraduate student?
Honestly, there were two major things that happened when I was still at FIT. My mom did pass away, unfortunately. So dealing with grief, dealing with grief is really, dealing with grief is very difficult, especially when it's someone so close to you. So that was something that was very hard for me. But then also COVID hit later that year. So then everybody was sent home. We didn't really know what was going on. So it was like the combination of going through the grief of my mother passing and then having COVID hit. And I was like, wow, I'm just stuck at home and really sad and don't know what to do with myself. But in that way, it pushed me even closer to God to know that He wouldn't have put me in this situation for no reason. And little by little from that COVID and my mom passing, I was able to get closer to myself and really grow into being a woman. Because I feel like without my mom, it's been hard.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Wow, thank you for sharing that. Thank you. I say this too. I say people don't deserve intimacy. Not everybody does. Because if you say it slowly, it's into me you get to see. And you know why you don't deserve it? Not because you're a bad person, but you don't know how to respond to it. So that takes vulnerability and bravery for you to say that on television. And I see why your art is as beautiful and as creative and as unique as it is, because you certainly have more than one story to tell, and that's exhibited. That's exhibited through your work, and I'm so sure, Nia, that your mother is super proud of you. I'm sure she is. So are we. I mean, we've just been friends for a short period of time, but I've had the privilege to be able to look at some of your great work, and your portfolio is going to do nothing else but catapult and expand, and I believe that. And I believe that for you, my sister. I believe that for you. I want you to leave our audience. I know we don't have a lot of time left, but leave our audience. What's one piece of advice, Nia, that you can give an aspiring creative director? What can you tell them?
The one thing that I wish that I had stayed true to when I first started was staying true to yourself. You're not making anybody else happy when you're not happy. So always choose yourself. It doesn't have to be you or over anybody else, but you always have to choose yourself and love yourself at the end of the day. Because there's only one you.
Absolutely. And I also love that you said, just to conclude, I also love that you said in whatever work you do, make sure that it's through your lens. That's how you started off. Whatever race you're, it can be through. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Like, let us learn. We don't have to have attitudes and just permanently not get it. Let me learn from you too, girl. Or my brother. It's true. Or brother. Let us learn, because we can find beauty in all of that. I promise you, we certainly can. Thank you so much, girl. Tell people where they can find your work.
So you can find me on Instagram. It is Nimani World. I am always sharing my work on there and am willing to work with anybody who's willing to work with me. So you can find me there. I am working on a website so that you guys can fully book with me and work with me even seamlessly.
Love that. Love that. Make Nia Shy, everybody. Love it, love it, love it. There you go. There you go. Yes, girl. You deserve it.
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we have a sports update for you from Freddie B. You don't want to miss it when we return.
Yes.
Thank you so much.